Hey, it's Jamie here in Detroit. On today's bonus episode of Daily Drive, we dig in on the exemptions to the federal standards on vehicle design. But first, on Tuesday's show, we brought you part of a Congress Conversation live stream hosted by our own Hannah Lutz and John Irwin. In this portion of the conversation, John asks Bob Lee, North America President of LG Energy Solution, and Mark Granger, Vice President of Automotive Product Management for Qualcomm Technologies, about their investment priorities.
Bob, maybe we can go with you first on this one. Given all the changes afoot in the industry and everything we're talking about here with EVs and tariffs, what area of your business are you investing most in over the next 3 to 5 years? Is there a particularly safe bet that you see right now?
I'm not sure if there are any safe bets, but I would say that, of course, we are looking at, where we think it makes the most sense to focus on. So I would say a couple of areas where, we are cautiously optimistic or focused on is one is on the ESS market space. So we make batteries and our primary application is for automotive EVs and extended range and so on. But we've also found that with grid storage becoming a critical area, data centers to support all of the AI applications, also a critical area. And all of those major infrastructure investments require battery backup. And so that's turning out to be a interesting growth area for us. On the automotive side, I would say that right now, most of the discussions we're having with our customers is on how to drive down costs, right? 10 years ago, much of the discussion we had with our customers were on how to improve energy density of NMC cells so that you can have more powerful batteries, increase range, and really drive up performance. But now I would say the discussion is really about lowering nickel content in batteries, which is a cost driver. GM and Ford recently announced LMR chemistry, which is a manganese-rich chemistry, which reduces the cobalt content. So again, that's a cost driver element. We're focused on something we're calling dry coating, where we're putting the electrode onto the copper foil or aluminum foil in a dry method instead of a wet method. That has a huge impact on energy costs, because when you coat wet electrode, then you have to dry that out through an oven, which requires a lot of energy. So most of those ideas are really focused on trying to get more affordable, cost-effective batteries, in the next 3 to 5 year time frame. And that's almost, not everything that we're focused on, but that's definitely the most critical aspect of our investment and development right now, to try to get to affordable products that will help our customers put, affordable vehicles on the market, which I think is part of what's going to allow it to grow faster than what we've experienced over the last year.
And Mark, how about you? Over the next 3 to 5 years, what areas of the business is Qualcomm most investing into?
Well, I think, if I just step back for a moment for those that may not know where Qualcomm fits in the automotive space, right? So we have what we call our digital chassis. There's connectivity, which you would, of course, expect from Qualcomm, modems, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and whatnot. So continue to invest, bring the, 5G, eventually 6G into the space. Cockpit, which is what I live in and breathe day in and day out, is all the interior cabin computing. And with the advent of AI, it's just going to explode over the next couple of years, the amount of processing power. And we believe we're well positioned to deliver that with things like our Snapdragon Cockpit Elite devices. And then ADAS and autonomy, right? So this is an area that we continue to invest and look forward to some great growth over the next several years. The other element is our connected services platform, so-called car to cloud, where we're working to help OEMs bring great new services to their end OEMs, and as well innovate and collaborate in places like even LG Energy Solutions. We had announced some collaboration utilizing some of our connected services and tying into our overall platform with their battery technology and algorithms. So, yeah, that gives you sort of a synopsis of those 4 main areas where we really look to invest over the next several years.
Automotive News staff reporter John Irwin and Tech and Innovation Director Hannah Lutz hosted a Congress Conversation live stream this past week with Bob Lee of LG Energy Solution and Mark Granger of Qualcomm, as well as Angela Johnson, Supplier Relations Analytics Principal at Plant Moran. Coming up, an expert in automated driving breaks down the exemptions to the federal vehicle safety standards. That's next on this bonus episode of Daily Drive. Daily Drive listeners like you have access to the lowest price for Automotive News Congress 2025 on September 11th.
The event is where the industry's biggest players tackle its toughest challenges. Congress attendees don't just follow the industry, they lead it.
This year's featured speakers include Hyundai Motor Group Executive Chair Yusin Chung and General Motors CEO Mary Barra.
We are investing in America. We're creating jobs. That's creating IP in this country. And I think, the United States needs to lead in key technologies.
Join us to gain the insights and connections needed to steer your business through massive change.
To get the lowest price for the event, go to autonews.com/events, select Auto News Congress, and type in the discount code Daily Drive, one word, all caps. We'll see you in September in Detroit. Welcome back. On Wednesday, we brought you staff reporter Molly Boygan's interview with Philip Koopman, the recently retired longtime associate professor at Carnegie Mellon University. Today, we share his breakdown of the legal exemptions to the federal motor vehicle safety standards and who stands to benefit from deregulation.
Something that folks need to appreciate is that even if you get an exemption, right now there's a limit. I think it's 2,500 vehicles get the exemption. If you're building robotaxis, that's a lot of robotaxis. But if you want to get an exemption to not have a steering wheel or to otherwise not conform to the federal standards for safety, 2,500 is not a lot for retail customers. So there's a separate effort that's been ongoing to increase it from 2,500 to 10,000 or 100,000 or pick your number. And so there's also the question is, even if you get your exemption, is 2,500 vehicles enough to put on the road? For heavy trucks, clearly it is. For robotaxi fleets, Waymo's only just now getting into range where that would be an issue. For other companies, it's not a problem. But don't forget that the exemption it has a limit, and it's also supposed to be for a limited time. So it's not the final solution. It's sort of a stopgap. There's another point people ask, well, who does this exemption process benefit? And clearly it would benefit the Tesla Cybercab, but it could also benefit other companies like Zoox. Zoox is currently involved in a controversy where they self-certified to the federal standards FMVSS. But there was a NHTSA report that was leaked or published, not sure which, showing that self-certification has issues. And so if a rule that making the exemption process easier passes, it's not only going to help Tesla with the Cybercab, but it'll also help Zoox with their no steering wheel vehicle. And if Waymo wanted to build one, that would no longer be a big obstacle for them, and so on.
Philip Koopman is a technical consultant with deep experience in automated driving. He was speaking with our own Molly Boygan. Thanks for listening to this bonus episode of Daily Drive. We'll be back on Monday with a brand new full episode of the show.